Phil, it's sort of been a funny series for you. You had 2 centuries and 3 scores where you didn't reach double figures. It's sort of a long way between you mixing it up, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's cricket, I suppose. I pride myself on, if you do get in, I want to get a big score. And through the middle games, I suppose I missed out. I didn't really get set. But I think the pleasing thing was when I did get set today, I made it to the 3-figure mark.
Did you have the option of sort of resting from tomorrow's Shield game, or was it sort of at your instigation that you're flying back first thing tomorrow?
No, look, that's what I'll be doing. Flying back early in the morning on a couple hours sleep. So no, it'd be nice to get back there. And I haven't played for South Australia for a couple of months now, so it'd be nice to get back there and get amongst it with the boys.
Do you reckon it took a lot of faith from selectors to select you for the 1 days because they brought you back for the tests? They might have been a part of them thinking, we don't really want to compromise his test technique, but from what you've shown so far, it doesn't look like it's going to have any effect. Yeah, look, I'm grateful for this opportunity. It's been a while coming, but I really love one-day cricket, and I suppose to play a few games and also to hopefully cement myself in this one-day team. That's something I'm really looking to do, and also in the test team. So I'm just grateful for this opportunity. I think it's just great to bounce back like we did tonight as well. I know it depends on where the skipper wants to bat when he comes back, but do you see any advantage at all if you happen to hold down number 3 in both formats? Oh yeah, look, I don't mind. Look, I don't mind where I bat. I've got no idea on the batting orders. I think the first 4 games I opened, and then today I slipped down to 3. So it was just a little bit different tonight, and I really enjoyed that. So in saying that, I'm enjoying batting 3 in the test team, but I don't mind where I bat.
Is relief the word, given the state of the series, that they were up 2-1 and that you've squared it? Is it a relief?
Oh look, it's nice to level it. We would have loved to won it, but I suppose the position we come here and we're behind in the series, and to really bounce back like we did tonight, that showed fight from all the boys really. So that's a real pleasing thing to show that fight and come out on top tonight.
Was it relief you felt personally when the ball rolled back on his nose?
Bizarre, wasn't it?
Has that happened before to you?
No, I've never seen that before actually. It's
looked on the replay like it actually rolled in at the reasonable pace. It hit the base and stumped pretty hard.
Yeah, it did, and I looked back and laughed.
Zinger bars would have been interesting.
Yeah.
How much warning did you have that the skipper wasn't playing today, and how did you kind of adjust to that?
Oh, look, he got to the basically to the toss really, and he wasn't up today. But in saying that, I'm sure he'll be back for the next one-day game, or the first one-day game against West Indies. So looking forward to having him back. 2020
team will play over the weekend. Do you wish you were there with them as well?
Oh, look, I'd love to play all formats. I've always said that, but as I said, I'm grateful to crack into the one-day team now, and obviously the test team, and hopefully one day I'd love to be in the 2020 format as well. But look, I've got a Shield game to play for South Australia starting tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
And so this is your last international game of the home summer. So looking back to 3 months ago, the start of the Australian summer, could you imagine you come back into the team's gone as smoothly as it has? Yeah, it has gone smoothly. I've always wanted to get back into the team. I've been, I suppose, around the mix for a number of years now, in and out of the side. So I think the big thing I really want to do is cement myself in the Australian cricket team. That's something that I'm really looking forward to do, and hopefully I can really cement my spot in both formats now.
Xavier, nice to play a part, mate, tonight, I guess, after a very not so much involvement in the first 4 games.
Yeah, it was nice to get a bowl. I was pretty nervous actually going into it, having not sort of bowled a ball in a game for nearly 10 days, I guess. So first couple of overs, I reckon I bowled like I was nervous, and it was nice to get a couple of wickets and settle that down and play my part. It's good. You're obviously entrenched in the limited overs team at the moment. Went to the World 2020, that sort of stuff beforehand. How do you sort of see your test prospects at the moment, especially coming up to India? I'll probably take at least sort of 2 spins there. Do you think actually being involved in the national team so much in the limited overs has actually hurt you because you haven't been able to play much Shield cricket? Well, yeah, I guess that's sort of the argument going around about the Big Bash, is that there's no real sort of Shield form for anyone sort of pushing their test case. So, but there's no way around that. So I guess that's about doing as much as you can when you can, and I guess being in this team now and taking a few wickets is keeping my name up there, I guess. And I'd certainly love to play again in the test team. Wasn't that wrapped with the way it all went, and I'd love another chance to make an impact there.
Are you optimistic at all, and have you been given sort of any feeling about whether this continual involvement in the one-day team is sort of going to count towards your test selection claims?
No, I think they're completely separate, but I like I mentioned, it's about sort of keeping my name up there in any format, but I think particularly Shield cricket is where they're looking at form, so we'll see how that one pans out.
I'm sure if you were lucky enough to get to India, mate, you could play a part over there.
Absolutely, yeah. I think I'm a better bowler than what I was when I played Test cricket 2 years ago. So, and at 30, still quite young as far as an international player goes. So I think I've got plenty to learn, and I definitely think I can play a part if that's the way things go.
I know you've had a lot of matches on, but did you at all get a chance to have a look at the England series and see how Monty, the left arm spinner, did so well?
I did watch quite a bit of that, and it was a great series, and I think it's a great place to play cricket. And obviously, as a spinner, you get plenty of assistance there. So, if that's the way things go, then I'll be doing more of that, and really working out a game plan.
Has it been hard to push your case with the way the first class wickets have been, especially out here at Belroad, dominated by the seamers?
Yeah, I guess so. I think I've bowled sort of 50 overs in 5 Shield games, which is not ideal, but the way I bowled last year in Shield cricket, up until the one-day series and the Big Bash was, I was pretty pleased with that. So, I think as far as 4-day cricket goes, I've sort of come quite a way.
You mentioned you feel you're a better bowler than when you played those tests against England. How are you better?
Well, I think there's no doubt I'm probably spinning the ball more and got better control, which I think as a spinner, that's something that sort of comes with a bit of age. So, I think my performance tonight, I sort of was able to keep, probably until the last ball, which sailed over the pickets. I was able to control the batters and really work out what they were doing. So that was probably the most pleasing thing of my effort tonight.
How much adjustment is there in the way you bowl in limited overs cricket and then into longer form? And is it difficult to make that adjustment?
No, not really. I think, like I mentioned, it's probably about sort of just trying to control the batsman, and whether that's having fields in or out and catches and that sort of thing. That's probably the only thing that changes is where you put your fielders. So for me, it's pretty simple about sort of trying to be consistent, land a consistent line, and spin it as much as I can, which is probably something that I've been working on for quite a while.
Would you like a couple of Shield games to maybe enhance your test spot, or are you happy to try and work your way through the one-day team?
The schedule is what it is. I wouldn't knock back a chance to play for Australia no matter what form of the game or sport. So the schedule is what it is, and I'm pretty happy where I'm at the moment.
I guess in that Adelaide test against England, most of the Australian players, came out of it. The team got sort of thrashed, but at that sort of stage, did you sort of think that your chance had gone?
It was quite a strange feeling. I certainly felt for Bobby Quiney. A few months ago, you sort of feel like you're on top of your game, and then 5 days later, you couldn't be further away from it. So that was the sort of it's a real kick in the guts when you go through that, and I can certainly feel for Bobby the way he sort of reacted to that, and his form sort of dropped off after that series. So I certainly felt what he was going through, but you learn from those things. It was very disappointing, but going back over it was a great opportunity, and I think that probably where you learn your most is in your disappointments and your failures. So I certainly took a lot out of it.